everybody. As we move further along the tour, welcome to a 420 Bible study in the Torah. It's a tour. Grab your torch, add fragrant incense to your censer, and at that point, get ready to go with an offering first for our God Hashem, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, David, the servant of God, Moses, the friend of God. Oh my goodness. I want to be on that team, don't you? All right, here we go.
When I was gone, you were still with me. When I was lost, you cared for me. When I turned my back, you never left me. And even though I've done wrong, you always loved me. When I was gone, you were still with me. When I was lost, you cared for me. When I turned
Rise from the ashes and dust. Blow him a kiss and kiss his son, as it says in Psalm 2, right? Alright, so let's pick it up a little bit in Psalm 2. I was reading in the Torah the annotations on the left, and then the subnotes on the right and the bottom, and at that point, those are the sages. Those are the wise ones. Here's a funny thing. Sage is a smell. You can have it in your room, but there's no creative thought, and they don't understand what God's saying. At that point, sages, I think, are supposed to be Canas. That's what I am. I'm a Cana. And at that point, I'm a Canaanite, but I'm also a fellow Israelite, therefore I have a night light. So in darkness, I always have my torch, and at that point, no matter where I go, I will always be in the light. So with that, here's the annotation on the left from Psalm 1. The book of Psalms begins by asserting that the keys to good fortune, the key to good fortune, Enki, Enlil, Endo, and side, I just added a little bit of history there. The keys to good fortune are to shun evil influences, which is pretty much, see, it's not evil. Let me explain that real quick. It's the world. It's everybody here. Unless you've tapped into the Bible, and then depending on how much you've gone through it and how much you say everything, you then become Jewish by faith, or you're just Jewish. But at that point, that is the level of mankind in earth. If you look at it like this, okay? It goes from, I don't know anything, to I know some. I'm going to preach really loud that we know everything. And then you get the prophets and the wisdom and the over here, which is like honey. And if you know how to spell Christmas and Hanukkah, wisdom is like Cana, and it's a land flowing with milk and honey. It's my Cana. That's what he's taught me. Again, guys, I didn't know any of this 3 years ago, so that's why I'm giving tours, to take you on my brain. So with that, it says, the keys to good fortune are to shun evil and to study the Torah. The keys to good fortune are to don't mess with them, don't mix with their seed, stop doing all of that other stuff of the world, slowly but surely. But once you start breathing cannabis, you're totally good anyways, right? I had a conversation with the other guy, smoking outside. He was 75, and he's like, oh, I've been doing it since I was 14. I'm like, but I'm giving you a substitute, and it's pot, and it'll make you feel good, and it's from God. And he said, well, what are you making me change for? I'm like, if you don't want it, fine. I mean, seriously, giving away what I believe is the tree of life and the seed and the whole bread, the whole water and the living fire, wood, and smoke and the aroma, the food, satisfying, pleasing, hemp. Yeah. At that point, to be good and have good fortune is to study the Torah. Now, at the annotation, here it is in the last few seconds. At first, it is called the Torah of Hashem. But after one has toiled to understand it, it has acquired as his own, and it is called his own Torah. So, welcome to my Torah. At that point, we're going to cut it quick, but it is the Torah of Hashem. We're going to actually go, sorry, we're going to expand on that in a second. If it's the Torah of Hashem, those two words are not in the Greek book. Do I need any other further explanation for the rest of the world? If you have a Torah that is from Abraham's descendants and his seed, his belief and thought, and it goes through Moses, and it comes through Joseph, and all of our ancestors, and you have to be converted by Paul to believe in Jesus as the Messiah, the branch, which then will go into what he says. But if it's the Torah of Hashem, and the word Torah is taken out and inserted as law, it's the law. Oh, look, the law. It's an old song by English band. Oh, look, the law. Ooh, the law. But if you know it as the Torah law, and then you have Moses and the sons of Korah who grumble against Moses in Exodus 10, Exodus 16, or Exodus 10 and Exodus 16. At that point, it's Korah versus Torah. Okay, not good to be against Moses. Moses even doubted himself, and then he started blaming people at the end. It really just, he wasn't able to cross over, but once he passed away, he had done enough work, he was just taken. I'm sure of that. But for us that weren't even aware, we have a lot of making up to do. And the first thing is to sit down and offer him pot. So if it is the Torah of Hashem and he sends diseases, wouldn't you want to be on his good side? Yes. So let me finish off with this. No matter how powerful the force, nothing can thwart God's will. And if it's the father and you want to get inheritance from the father, normally he has to die. Well, at that point, God's never going to die. Okay, the light's never going to go out. So at that point, we're going to die first. And if we live according to the will while we're living, it's a living will, and our testimony is our testament, then we will inherit the land. Look, I found the land. It's hemp. You can burn it. Oh my goodness. Isaiah 44:15. So here it is. No matter how powerful the force, nothing can thwart God's wrath or God's will. If you go against it, it becomes wrath and anger. But Rashi comments that the psalm, or the poem, as we then go with song and poem and song of ascents, or it's ascent. Everything's influenced by the aroma. That's what his food is. So that's the influence. So, Rashi comments that the Psalm 2 alludes to the encounter between the nations and the Messiah, the branch of God. And here it is. If Ezekiel and Raphael and Gabriel and all those AELs, Rachiel or Rachel or whatever her name is, at that point, it is IEL, right? Well, if he's the branch of God, isn't it then he's the branchial? Right, he's a branchial. But the phonetic spelling is strange in this land because you have to learn his language. It's now called the bronchial. So with that, that is the inner tubes of our windpipes. Look at the inside body, and you'll see the bong into a big pot, through the mouth. Our eyes are open. We eat the honey. We eat the tree. We realize we were naked. Now we eat the tree and realize we're not naked. We're stupid. Sorry, Coach. Coach, how many more laps? Keep running. Baruch Hashem.